Okay, good day. Today we're going to talk about Federal Constitution as a foundation for integration and a vehicle of ethics and civilization. So, integration and foundation is abstract and real space where parties or group or society including religious, political party, NGO and different civilization meet and seek agreement and or meeting in peace in harmony. This integration site exists at the macro, intermediate and micro level. So later I will explain to you what is macro, micro and intermediate level. Okay, so for Malaysia, Federal Constitution is a document that becomes a terms of social contract, a contract between the people and the government, and between the people and the people, and the other people, and between the citizen of Malaysia, if you may. Okay, and then because it contains various various provision that meet the interests of all party in Malaysian society. Although although that is the case, but people sometimes stabbing of the tongues, meaning they fight, and because they all have their own interpretation. Although they are not qualified, they will still make interpretation. So, but then after 60 years, Malaysia we do not have any wars. We just fight on social media. Okay. So let's talk about from top to bottom, or what we call here the macro level. Okay, the macro level we have, for example here, Rukun Tetangga or Neighbourhood Watch, which is a strategic group. So it has like 8,500 people nationwide. It is actually for security. They will walk around the neighbourhood and everyone will be involved. Everyone can volunteer, Malay, Chinese, Indian, and then they try to keep the neighbourhood safe. Okay, and then from down to bottom, NGO that try to look out for minorities, and then we have grassroots initiative. Grassroots initiative is street wedding. This is all before the COVID. Street wedding where we have a street in the neighborhood and then it will be closed down and people put out tents and they have weddings. And then we have mamakization. Mamakization is an Indian Muslim restaurant. Mamak, we call it mamak restaurant. And the mamak restaurant, everyone go and hang out there every race. So now people are very unhappy because of the pandemic. They cannot go out and hang out. Okay. So it is for economic and social cultural reasons they hang out there. Then we go out to the case of Kelantan. In the case of Kelantan, Kelantan is 94% Malay Muslim majority. Okay. 6% are non-Malays. So here there's a typo. Population of Sabah actually population of Kelantan. Okay. So it is an integration site. Kelantan is a very conservative Muslim country, Muslim state. They have Sharia law, but in terms of cultural assimilation, the minority are very assimilated. Okay. For example, they have the biggest Buddhist temple in Southeast Asia, and then they borrow different elements such as food, art, and fashion. Art, for example, wayang kulit or the shadow puppet. And then if you see Mak Yong and Menora, they are actually dancers. So there are a lot of Thai influence. Even the dress look very similar to Thai people. And then we go to introduction to introduction to Federal Constitution. Okay, laws are essential. Why? So we have law to regulate behaviour. If we don't have law, people can do anything they want, and they might run around. Some people might be psychotic killer, and they might run around killing people. And then it's a basic construct for ethics and civilization. Federal Constitution is the supreme law and source of reference. Forward integration site space. So it's become a vehicle for ethics and civilization in Malaysia. So now we have this look, think and answer. So what does the law means? All this, please do this and then submit. We go to the next slide. So what is constitution? Constitution is a set of rules related to administration. Because the administrative body, people who run the country in Malaysia, we have three parts. First is the judiciary, which is the courts, and then second is the executive, which execute, or the cabinet ministers, and then under them they have offices like immigration, police, the post and everything. And then we have legislature, where we have the member of parliament, where they make the law. Okay. So constitution have power, have the biggest power of all, and they regulate powers and role of these three institution. Okay. So federal constitution is a written document. In Malaysia, is a written document. It's a symbol of independence and our sovereignty. It's a basis for Malaysian statehood. So it designed for Malaya, framework, in the framework of history, culture and practice. So it takes everyone interest into account. So it is a manifestation of solidarity, where where Malaysian all, if they are Malaysian, they must follow this constitution. Acceptance and understanding. It's also a social contract. So then we have discussed. Also, please do this. Just a short answer. I just want a short answer, like two, three lines. Okay. So we have pre-colonial Malayan Union, Federation of Malaya. This one we have actually explained in a few chapter before. So before the coming of the colonial, we have a Malacca Law of the Sea and Malacca laws, which is a combination between cultural and Islamic laws. And then we have a structured constitution. Before arrival of British admits to state made their constitution, the Johor and Terengganu state. And then after World War, British left and came back, and then they wanted to create Malayan Union. So they want to consolidate the state and improve efficiency of administrative management. So what they're going to do is, they want to, because they lost a lot of money during the war, so they want to consolidate and make it more, the management more, to actually cut the cost. And then so British anti-Japanese feelings, because the Malay is in cooperation with Japan and introduction of Malayan Union. So they are not happy because Malay ruler actually cooperated with Japan. Because Malays are actually very cooperative people. You put anyone as government, they would cooperate. They are not belligerent. They are not fighting people. Okay. Become the basis for British and local community to rule their own country. Here we have another typo. Actually anti-French, anti-Japanese feeling. I don't know why this notes are crazy typo. So characteristic of Malayan Union, under the British governor, not the Sultan. So the people are not happy. Equal citizenship, regardless of race and descent. Meaning anyone can become the granted citizenship to anyone born in Malaya. So they were opposition. So they were opposition from the Malays. Open this. Sorry, it's okay. Uh, so, equal right to raise to indigenous people who don't have privileges. Um, so, so they are not happy that non-indigenous people had privileges. And then Harold Michael, the person in charge that was sent to get the signature of the ruler, used coercion. Coercion meaning he intimidated, he threatened the ruler, which is do not sit well with the Malay, because the Malay view their sultan as a special they have a special position in the hearts and mind of the Malay. Okay. Uh, After opposition from people of Malaya, British cancelled Malayan Union. So they work out, establish a constitution. That is in the working committee there is Malay people, UMNO people. UMNO is the leading political Malay party during that time. It's called it's a short for United Malay National Organisation. Um, 9 Malay states involved in the federation, including Penang and Melaka. Singapore remained a separate colony, and then headed by British High Commissioner, and then they have the 17 official member. Sultan have right to rule. Okay. So the condition for citizenship is tightened. Must be residing in here 8 to 12 years, 15 years, have good knowledge of English. Malays have special right, indigenous people, and the largest representation of federal and state government. So, and then the ethnic CLC, Community Relation Committee. So, or Community Liaison Committee. Sought resolve some legal issue, particularly those related to the constitution, political and the economy. And then they discuss various issues such as citizenship. So all these races like Malay, Chinese and Indian, they have to sit together and discuss this. And then they decided to form a coalition. And then first general election, Federation Malaysia. So they created Parti Perikatan on the Unity Front. So in 1955 general election, they work together and they won a lot of seats. So this you can see the division here. So they set aside narrow view of racism and then start working together towards independence. So these are the first integration side. Show that they work together. Okay. So a few of the what we call important provisions. One, citizenship. If you are Malaysian, you cannot have two citizenship. If you have two citizenship, you automatically will lose your Malaysian citizenship. And then you have to secure position, and then the security and position of Malay and the legitimate interest of other community. Meaning not only to take care of the Malay, but other community, Chinese, Indian, and the people of Sabah and Sarawak. Secure the position of Malaya as a country, the sovereignty. Parliament, which has two houses, House of Representative and State House. Okay. And then federalism, focus power on federal government. So we have federal government, which is, for example, now we have COVID. The law come from the federal government. The state government cannot make up law, because now we are in a state of emergency where we are ruled by the federal government. So we have here discuss again, so you have to do it. Chapter tells the important provision of federal constitution such as language, religion and citizenship. So, language, official language is Malay. So, second language is English. Most Malaysian, they are bilingual or trilingual. Then the religion, the official religion is Islam. But other people have right to practice other religion, but you cannot proselytize to Muslim. Okay. And then citizenship, I explained to you, must have one citizenship. And then you have basic rights. People cannot forbid you from getting basic right. And then here we have another. So these are this. So we have here, let me see. You have on the last page. So how does this basic framework of the constitution discuss role and contribution of heritage? So you have to do this. So you have to do some research. So discuss this. Okay. It's a lot of work, but it is online distance learning. So we have to make the best of it. So that's all for today. We go to the next chapter.